Just a quick revision of your grade 10 geometry, especially the issue of congruency. Remember the 4 conditions or the 4 cases for congruency: SSS, SAS, SAA, and RHS. So if we are asked to prove that shapes are congruent, especially triangles, we need to prove one of these. Let's look at this question here. We're given that the length AB is equal to the length AD. I know that because it's marked on the diagram. And we also given that angle A1 is equal to angle A2. Again, that is marked in the diagram, so we know that that is given information. So let us prove that those triangles are congruent: triangle ABC and triangle ADC. Right. So first of all, remember the method. We need to give a statement, and each statement should be supported by a reason. So let's give our statements in this column and our reason in this column. So we need to identify any angles that are equal there or any sides that are equal. So the first thing we notice from those 2 triangles is that angle A1 is equal to angle A2. We know because this is given. The second thing we notice there is that the side AB is equal to the side AD. We also know this because that is given. Then the other thing that we notice is that the side AC is common. So we can write AC is equal to AC and then give our reason as common. Therefore, we can conclude that triangle ABC will be congruent or is congruent to triangle ADC. In this case, our condition will be side angle side, because remember we used this side and that angle in between. So that is side angle side. It says prove that using 2 different conditions. So that means we can actually prove that the 2 triangles are congruent using another method. Right. The other method that we could use is this one here. Angle A1 is equal to angle A2. Now that is given. Then angle, maybe before I go to the angle, let's look at the side AB. The side AB is equal to the side AD. Once again, that is given. Then the third thing is I can use angle B, because angle B there and angle D are equal. You will notice that if ABD is isosceles, then angle B and angle D are equal. So the reason here would be angles opposite equal sides. Then we need to state the sides that are equal. This will be side AB equal to side AD. So this is another way of doing this thing. And so now our 2 triangles are congruent, but the case for congruency in this particular case will then become angle side angle. So it's angle side angle. Right, number 1 was an angle there. Number 2 is a side. and statement number 3 is an angle, so that is angle side angle. Let's have a look at this question here. In this diagram, we are told that O is the center of the circle. Then we are given that BO, the line BO, bisects the angle AOC. That is just another way of telling us that the angle O1, which is here, should be the same size as the angle O2, which is there, because the line OB bisects angle AOC. So we need to prove, number 1, that OB bisects the line AC. That is what we need to prove. Now, if OB bisects the line AC, then that actually means they want us to prove that the length AB is the same as the length BC. But in order to prove that sides are equal, it can become necessary at times for you to prove congruency. So we need, first of all, to prove that there are two triangles there that are congruent. And then if we can prove congruency, then we can conclude that therefore the line AB and BC will be equal. Right, so let's prove congruency. Once again, remember we need a statement and a reason. The first thing that is obviously equal is that angle O1 is equal to angle O2. I know because we are given there that BO bisects angle AOC. So this means angle O1 is equal to angle O2 that is given. Right, the second thing is that the length OA should be the same as the length OC, because these are radii of the same circle. I need a third statement. What else is equal there? The line OB is common to those two triangles, so let's write OB is equal to OB, which is common. And so we can conclude here that the triangle, now we need to be very careful naming those triangles. The triangle OBA is congruent to triangle OBC. Our reason for congruency for this one will be side angle side. And now we can answer the question. The question says prove that OB bisects AC. So we can conclude from this that BA is equal to BC. We know because those two triangles there are congruent. So we can leave it like that. Otherwise, BA is equal to BC simply because the triangle OBA and the triangle OBC are congruent, and we proved this. Now let's look at question 2. Prove that OB is perpendicular to AC, which means OB and BC, or OB rather and AC, meet at 90 degrees. So we need to prove that B1 is 90 degrees and that B2 is 90 degrees. And so we can do it this way. Right, first of all, remember that angle O1 is equal to angle O2. We were given that. We are told that OB bisects AOC. So O1 is equal to O2, given. But OA, we said, is equal to OC. These are radii. And therefore, angle A is equal to angle C, and these are angles opposite equal sides. Those sides being OA and OC. Right, so we know all that. Now, if two pairs of angles are equal, like in this case, this angle here is equal to that angle there. And we just proved that this angle here is equal to that angle there. So if two pairs of angles are equal, it follows that the remaining pair of angles will also be equal if we use the property of the interior angles in a triangle. So we can conclude that angle B1 should be the same size as angle B2. And this is because of the sum of angles in a triangle. But you will notice B1 plus B2 should give us 180 degrees. Those are adjacent angles on a straight line. So the reason is adjacent angles on a line. We just said that B1 is equal to B2, but B1 plus B2 is equal to 180. Now the fact that B1 is equal to B2 means that I can actually replace B1 with B2 or replace B2 with B1. So instead of writing B1 plus B2, I can actually write B1 plus B1. Remember, B1 and B2 mean the same thing. So B1 plus B1 is equal to 180 degrees, which gives me 2B1, because B1 plus B1 is 2B1. That is equal to 180 degrees. And if you solve that for B1, you get B1 is equal to 90. And obviously B2 will also be equal to 90, but you don't need to state both of them. So we can now conclude that the line OB is perpendicular to the line AC.